I'm on the, focus mode.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Vanessa Guyton, and I am so excited to be here with you in the middle of the day. Hopefully, some of you are on lunch, and so you say, well, let me go on Facebook, and then you catch us live during the lunch hour on the East Coast, because I know some of you are watching us from the West Coast, but on the East Coast, it's lunchtime. And I'm excited. My name is Dr. Vanessa Guyton. I am the Executive Director of Hush No More. We support survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, child sexual abuse, incest, human trafficking, sexual harassment, all of those things that families, organizations have a hard time discussing. We talk about it here. So I am honored because we are doing something different today. I have the amazing Nicole Snell with me. She is the CEO of Girls Fight Back. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, Dr. G. How are you?
I am absolutely fabulous. I'm excited because it's been since I really got a chance to sit down and talk with you. So we get to talk today and just let everybody know what we have going on and how amazing you are and about your organization. So I'm excited. So can you tell us about Girls Fight Back?
Yes, Girls Fight Back is a world-renowned organization that teaches personal safety, violence prevention, self-defense, and boundary setting training to women, girls, and people of all gender identities. It was founded in 2001 in honor of a very loved college student named Shannon McNamara. And Shannon was murdered in her off-campus apartment. And because of how hard Shannon fought, there was enough evidence collected to arrest and prosecute her murderer. And so her friend and sorority sister, Erin Weed, started Girls Fight Back in Shannon's honor to help give college women in their area some practical safety skills so that they didn't have to be afraid in the aftermath of what had happened to Shannon. And that's how the organization got started. We've been doing this for over 20 years. I got involved in 2016 and I purchased the company in 2020. And so I have continued the mission of spreading practical and simple violence prevention strategies, evidence-based and trauma-informed skills that anybody can use to deal with uncomfortable or dangerous situations, not just stranger danger. We know, especially for women, we are most likely to be assaulted or to experience violence from someone we know. So I'm addressing strategies for relationships, for colleagues, for friendships, for family. How do we have these conversations and set boundaries as the first step of violence prevention? And then also, how can we use our body to protect ourselves if that's our choice, if we're in a situation in which we need to use our body in order for us to get to safety?
I love it. You know, it's sad because someone had to die. Shannon had to lose her life in order to have this organization come about. But when you turn a tragedy into something special, it means a lot. So I'm really honored to even be able to lift the voice of Shannon and lift the voice of Girls Fight Back, because we need to know this as girls, as young girls, because we don't really talk about this as young girls, right? We don't. And
Mm-mm.
so we need to know more about it and to be able to just raise awareness. And so I honor you. I honor your original founders, and I'm excited to be able to carry the message to the world right along with you. So this is a good
Thank
day,
you.
a good thing that we could do together and partner. So for me, I wanted to partner with you because just hanging with you, you're just amazing. Like, we were in New Orleans, y'all, and for a victim advocate conference for Nova. And Nicole, we was walking in New Orleans, and Nicole was just on it. Like, she was paying attention to the surroundings. She saw things that I didn't even see. Like, two people was arguing in a car. Nicole had peeped that way before we even got to the car. She saw all the homeless people in New Orleans. Like, she was really so alert. And I realized that I'm not as alert as Nicole. Like, there's so much that I can learn from you. And I know it's funny because we really were walking, and she was like, hold on, Dr. G, you know, watch this for a minute. I need to check this out. And she was willing to just stand up and protect everybody else. And I'm like, I need to know this. And I feel like our tribe need to know this as well. So we came up with an idea to have an event. So tell everybody about Girls Fight Back. We're doing Girls Fight Back and Hush No More, October 29th. And it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let people know like what they really want to learn if they join us virtually.
Yeah, first of all, I loved hanging out with you in New Orleans, Dr. G. That was so much fun. And thank you for sharing that, because I really had no idea. That's just kind of, I just incorporate those awareness skills into everything that I do. And I just am always consciously aware of what's going on, and wanting to also, when I'm walking with friends and people, like just wanting to have their backs too. So I appreciate that. So I am so excited to partner with you for this class. So, for the last 3 years that I've owned Girls Fight Back, I have made it one of my mission points when I took over to do more to help survivors, to do more to help women of color like myself, like you, to do more to help people from underserved and historically excluded groups, and to try to make this training accessible to people who might not otherwise be able to access it. And so I was thinking, and after talking with you, Dr. G, while we were at the conference, I thought, hey, it would be great. I would love to be able to offer something for free for survivors for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I felt like that would just be so fitting. And I remember talking with you about it, and you agreed. And now we're doing this event, and it was really meaningful to me to be able to bring this to people for free, to the people who most likely need this training, may not have had access, may not have had a safe space to learn these skills. And I'm just grateful for the space to be able to offer that. So what we're going to be doing, it's going to be a 60-minute virtual Girls Fight Back seminar. So Girls Fight Back is the name of my company, but I also have several programs. Girls Fight Back is the one specifically for women and girls, cis, trans, non-binary. If you identify as a woman, you are welcome in this class. And it is going to be teaching a variety of skills, not just physical skills. In fact, most of the class is going to address non-physical skills, including intuition, situational awareness, verbal de-escalation skills, how to set boundaries, recognizing tools of manipulation and red flag behavior from other people, and really just about empowerment. And yes, we're going to learn some physical skills too, because when you can learn how simple it is to be able to use your body, that you don't need years of training to be able to do that, and to unwrite some of what society has told us about, women, that we're weak, that we're not strong enough, that we can't do certain things, that we have to always have somebody with us to protect us, we can't go certain places, we definitely can't go certain places alone, and all of this messaging that really seeks to control us and restrict our life. I'm here to blow that all up, really, and reconnect us to our innate power and empower us to feel confident speaking up for ourselves, speaking up for our needs, advocating for ourselves in whatever area that means, in our relationships with our friends, with strangers on the street, with our partnerships. And then how can we physically defend ourselves if that's what we choose to do, and to be able to walk away with all those skills. That way they can start to be incorporated in your life in whatever way works for you. It's all about choice. It's all about options, and just having that empowerment of knowing that you are worth fighting for can be something that enables people, especially can enable survivors who may be experiencing a situation in the moment, and having that additional empowerment might help them to be able to seek out professional resources, to start a safety plan, and to start that process, and can be the stepping stone to helping them to get the help that they need.
Yeah. For me, I didn't have any brothers. So I was the oldest of six. I'm the oldest of six girls, right? I'm the oldest. And so there was no boys to protect me unless I was with my cousins. And so I had to really learn how to defend us and protect us. And I think we have to do that a lot as women. And we don't always have a male with us. So we have to be able to do this on our own when we go to the grocery store at night, when we're out and about, we might go to the movies. And I know sometimes once people become a victim of certain crimes, it's hard for them. But I think to get back out there is learning these skills to empower you, to elevate you, to make you feel like you can do this, and that you don't have to have necessarily a gun. The fact that you teaches us how to do things without a weapon is priceless to me, because we can always get to our weapon. And so I think it's important for us to learn from you some of the small things that are really big things. We think they're small, but they're big, they're huge. And I'm telling you, I learned a lot from you. I was like, Nicole, be on it. Because I'm thinking, hi, everybody. And I speak to everybody, and I'm all about hugs and love and kindness, right? But I forget about, Vanessa, there's some crazy people out here. So I'm not always paying attention, because I'm like, hi, how you doing? And that's not always the place that I should be in. I should be on 10 all the time, but from a safe space. And so I think it's important that we actually learn this. Can you give us an example of like maybe one thing that you really think that people should know? Like, what is one of your favorite things to share with women?
Oh, intuition. Really, that's the number one. I start the class by teaching the foundations of safety, and intuition is the first one. And it is connecting to our body's physiological ability to recognize when there's a problem. And that's a scientific fact of how our brains are constantly taking in information and based on pattern recognition sending messages to us about what may or may not be a situation that needs our attention. And it doesn't have time to give us a full explanation, it sends us a feeling. But a lot of times, especially for women, we're taught that, oh, we're just overreacting, we're being hyper vigilant, or oh, that person's okay, why are you being weird about them? But I want to allow us to trust ourselves, really. It's not about trusting me. It's not about trusting anyone. It's about trusting yourself. When you notice that something's not right, that means something is not right. We don't have to try to talk ourselves out of it. We don't have to try to explain it away or find a logical reason for the feeling. We can trust the fact that, oh, okay, this is weird. I'm going to trust that feeling. And I'll give you an example. I do a lot of solo hiking, right? And I do a lot of classes on empowering people to go and do things solo because I've been doing this my whole life. Even before I had self-defense training, I was solo hiking, solo traveling. But I was on a solo hike, and I was on a hike I'd done before, and I was getting ready to do the second part of the hike where you can see how the trail hugs around the mountain. You can see it. And I got ready to take a couple steps, and something said, don't go. Don't walk on the trail. And I thought to myself, that is ridiculous.
Weird. Yeah.
I have done this trail. I can see the trail with my eyes. Like, there's nobody there. There's nothing there. And then I stopped and I realized what I was doing. I was talking myself out of my intuitive feeling. What did I do once I realized that? I turned around and went home. And I don't know what sparked that feeling, but I'm here today to tell the story. So I imagine that my body protected me. And I went back to that trail a few days later and I didn't get that feeling and I did the whole hike and it was fine. So intuition is what allows you to not have to be on high alert every second. It's what allows you to do what you want. It's less about saying, don't go on that solo hike, which isn't helpful and does not, like, because you don't solo hike doesn't mean you're automatically protected from all forms of violence, right? Not doing certain things is not a guarantee of safety. And that's why I don't like giving people restrictions and why I will never teach people restrictions in my class. I'm all about opening your world up to help you be limitless. But it's about, okay, if you want to do such and such activity, great. But when you get that feeling, when your awareness clues you into a problem, now you have information for deciding what you can do in that situation. So you don't have to avoid situations, but allow yourself to take in information when you are in a particular situation or place, and then make the best decision for you based on that.
I love that. So that is a great idea. And it's real. Like, we do have intuition and nobody tells us to really use our intuition. We always fight it. I don't know why we fight it, but I think God gives us all intuition and that feeling, that little bubble in your guts, like, something not right. And even in relationships, we do it. Like, oh, he's cute, so I'm going to talk to him anyway. And your mind already told you he wasn't right, but we do it anyway. So I love that. Now, when I was in your class, I went to her class when we were in New Orleans, y'all, and I was blown away. I was like, yes, I was just like a regular student in her class. And there was something that I learned from you that I have taken with me 100%. And especially because I grew up in the church. I grew up in a setting where hugs was something that we have to do, right? When you're in church, you have to hug. And I particularly don't like hugs. There's some days that I don't want people to touch me. And especially when you're a survivor, right? And this is definitely for survivors, y'all. This is training if you are a survivor, or to prevent it from happening to you. But I don't like hugs. And you taught me how to break away from a hug respectfully. Can you go over that, please? Because I think everybody in the world should know how you can just avoid having to be touched or having to hug. Can you share that?
Yeah.
And this is y'all, and what to look forward for October 29th. It's a Sunday. So this is something that you're going to get from her.
Yeah. So basically, the way I explain it is so that you don't have to engage in physical contact with anybody that you don't want to. And there are some strategies that you will learn in the class that will tell you how you can trust that feeling in yourself, like, oh, I'm not comfortable with this person. And it doesn't matter if you've hugged them before. It doesn't matter if there's someone someone like in a, like you said, Dr. G, in a church setting where that's kind of expected, or even like the conference where we were at, there was a lot of hugs and things going on, and you might feel obligated. And maybe you feel obligated and you don't feel uncomfortable hugging someone, so you're just going to hug them, and that's fine. You absolutely have that choice. But what if you don't want to hug? What if you're really going to get that icky feeling and you really aren't comfortable with it and you want to get out of it and you don't know how to get out of it? So I teach in my classes how you can get out of that hug using your voice, using some body language skills, and to empower you that you can set these boundaries and you can have these conversations with people, to be able to get out of any kind of unwanted touch, hugs, handshakes, arm around the shoulder, the coming up behind you, creepy massage. If someone comes up and wants to adjust your necklace, I know people that hate that. Like, your necklace comes down like this, and someone comes up, oh, let me adjust. Like, just anything where someone is touching you, maybe in a non-aggressive, you don't feel like your safety's at risk, but you are uncomfortable with that touch. I teach how you can get out of it.
I love that because I'm always now I'm using it. I'm like, and I'm happy and I'm confident and I don't offend people, right? I don't offend because everybody don't want to be touched. And I think that's important to know. We have a
Yeah.
comment from Kim. Hey, Kim.
Oh.
And hey, Kelly and Ivy. Kim says, so I'm always paranoid about going out and going around people, especially men, because I'm like, people are crazy today. Indeed, they are. I think this is a good thing you are doing because I will stay home with a quickness because I just don't always feel safe going out. Do you have any advice for her?
Yeah, and this is from Kim, right? Kim, thank you for your comment, and I'm sorry that you feel that way. And yes, there is a lot that we see in the news all the time about how the world is and what it's like going out. And a lot of people have experiences and have experienced uncomfortable things. I'm not immune. I do this work. I cannot control how somebody decides to treat me. Right. As I'm walking down the street, I cannot prevent someone from catcalling me. I can respond if they do. And we're trying to spread information out to stop that type of behavior. But I'm not in control of anyone else's behavior. All I can do is have the skills to be able to respond if that behavior intersects me. Right. Like if I am responding to how someone is treating me or talking to me or in my space, then that is the part that I can control, is my response to that and my options for dealing with that. So when I go out and, and I do a lot of solo traveling for this work. So I'm in different cities all over the US all the time, filling up my gas at my rental car at 3 a.m. at a gas station I've never been to return my car for my next flight. So I'm really out there experiencing just the world on my own. And I feel like learning some of these skills can help you feel more confident in your own ability to recognize situations and know you have options. Because I think for me, at least before I started having this education, before I got trained in, all the self-defense training I have, I often felt like I didn't know what to do. I wasn't sure what I could do. I wasn't aware of what options I had to handle a situation. And so when you have more options for how you can respond to something, then it gives you a little bit more feelings of confident when you're out. And also that confident body language of having your head up, shoulders back, taking up space. That can be a deterrent to people if they are, trying to target someone or looking, oh, I'm going to try to harass this person. Because a lot of times harassers and predators and criminals, they operate because they are trying to choose someone who they think is vulnerable or accessible or lacking in credibility for whatever reason. And so there's a lot of research behind showing that confident body language, confident voice, doesn't have to be an aggressive voice. We don't have to always yell. Yelling might be an option sometimes, but it might just be, using your verbal skills in other ways to de-escalate, to disarm the person, to to say something to get them to walk away or to stop bothering you. And that is still a win. And having those options can help you feel more confident in your ability to respond if you are faced with something out in the world.
I love it. So she says, yeah, Vanessa tries to get me to go out alone, and I told her I'm just not that person. And she's laughing. I do. I get out of the house. You gotta drive. So, and I understand it. Sometimes we do kind of isolate ourselves, but it's not healthy. Right. And we have the right to be free. We should have the right to walk down the street and nobody touch us. We should have the right to be able to share our voice, to share our space with other people and be safe. And so that's what this is about. This is really about having that courage, the ability to just walk and live your life and live the best life that you possibly can. And so I'm so excited. I hope all of you join us on October 29th. It's a Sunday. It's after church, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can still come. It's virtual, it's free. Nicole charges. She goes she said the nation, the country, but she's all around the world traveling and training. And so I so admire her. I admire her for just want to take time to support survivors, to do it for free. Right. When I tell you she is bad, she is killing the game. And she was like, I'm going to do it for free. I want to be a blessing. So this is her way to bless you. So I hope all of you show up and participate because it's going to be a great event. Okay. It's going to be a great event. I love me some Nicole. Can y'all tell? And I don't introduce my circle of people to everybody. If I bring somebody to you, it's because they are doing the thing. And that is Nicole Snell. And so I think she's not just beautiful inside, she's beautiful on the outside, and she's very knowledgeable. And so I hope you all will come and join us. You have any last words, Nicole, that you want to share?
Thank you, Dr. G. You're amazing. I love you too. I'm so grateful that we are connected, that we're friends, that we can support each other in this. Like, you are amazing. I wish we lived closer together, but
Me
you are
too.
doing your thing, holding it down on the East Coast, and I'm here on the West Coast, and we all travel. Like, right, both of us are going around spreading the work. So I'm so grateful to be able to work with you so that we can reach more people. And what I would like to leave everybody with is my motto, that you are worth fighting for, and to affirm that fighting doesn't just mean physically fighting and physical skills. Fighting back and saying to yourself, I'm worth fighting for, means I'm worth defending. I'm worth advocating for. I'm worth setting healthy boundaries for. I'm worth being in a healthy, loving relationship for. I'm worth going out into the world and living my life on my terms for. And that's what Girls Fight Back is all about.
That's right. I love it. Thank you, Nicole. This month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. There are some amazing events in your community. If you go on places like Eventbrite on Facebook and search for events, domestic violence, they will come up. This weekend, we have the Mayor's Walk in Columbia, South Carolina. We have the Purple Gala hosted by Tina Torres. We have the Candlelight Vigil hosted by Dr. Juanita and Rediscover Me. October 21st is our domestic violence walk. So if you are in Columbia, South Carolina, Irmo, any of this area, you should join us. Everything is free. We're going to love on you. We're going to raise awareness. And then on October 29th, we're going to have Nicole. So you all can come. Please share, invite your friends, invite your girls, your young girls. Like, it is important that your daughters sit next to you while you're learning this, because the earlier they learn about protecting themselves, the better. So have your girls in the room with you too. So peace and blessings to you all. If you need us, reach out to hushnomore.org. You can also find us on our social media platforms, and we're always here. So peace and blessings. Have an amazing day. And I hope that this midday launch of just this moment that you had with us will make your day better. Take care, y'all.
Bye.